Hello, my name is Christian Moreno, and my topic was cinematography, film stock, lighting, and lenses. Film stock for projection onto screen are usually designated to produce an accurate reproduction of the original scene. They generally have very fine grain and high sharpness. As you can see, this is film stock is what it sounds like. It's film that the movie is shot on instead of something like a camera or a digital camcorder of some sort. There are different types of film stock, the first one being 16mm film stock, and it's common for feature films to have, and it's been in movies such as Black Swan, Fruitful Station, and Jackie. 35mm is a standard film that is shot on movies and gives a vintage look to the screen. Though it's used in it's used in a lot of movies, 35mm isn't the most common because it does have the vintage look that it wants to give off, so that's why it's kind of not used as much, because it's meant to depict a old setting or an old time event. And that leads to the 65mm, which is making a comeback, and it's been in films such as The Master, Dunkirk, and The Hateful Eight, and it is almost the highest resolution film format there is, and it's revered for epic films. Like it said, it's meant for epic films, Dunkirk being one of them, but also that it's making a comeback because of kind of like the 35mm, how the 65mm has a certain look to it that gives off the feel of an old style film or a old setting that it's trying to depict. D and T. D, which stands for daylight, it has a slight blue tint. Daylight is natural light and looks good in any shot, and it's used when the light in the scene is either daylight or a daylight balanced light. And these are different types of film stock that they use to have a certain look to the camera. And with that, T stands for tungsten, which has a slight orange tint. Tungsten is artificial light, and before LEDs, they were the most popular source of lighting, and the warmer looks helped the cinematography fit the scene a lot better. Tungsten is for when you're using artificial light, and as tungsten lights were more popular, and so was the tungsten stock. The importance of lighting in film production is that it defines how we see the shot, and this can make a huge difference in movies. Shadows is the opposite of light, but shadows isn't just darkness. The role it has to play is much more complex than that. We rely on shadows to not only add to the mood and atmosphere, but to create depth and texture, giving more dimensions to the shot. And I have two different shots, a low lighting ration, one which doesn't offer too much shadow, where most of the scene is very well lit. It shows the audience a scene or production which is lighthearted, perhaps a comedy or a romance. And the first thing that popped in my mind was this specific shot from Romeo and Juliet with the candles really lighting up the room, and it had a very romantic but ominous feel to it when you watch the movie or when you watch that shot. And on the other hand, genres like film noir have made excellent use of highlight rations, where your subject is shot half in bright light and half in dark shadows, and this I chose for Apocalypse Now to really depict the difference between the dark and the bright light. Lenses. The lenses are like the eyes that allow the audience to see the story of a movie. Everything that goes in the final movie is directly influenced by the lens choice. Different lenses see differently, therefore the lens can tell a story from a totally different perspective and change the whole experience for the viewers. Steven Spielberg is famous for his extensive use of wide lenses. It makes a lot of sense when considering the fact that wide lenses favor the style of camera movement regularly used in Spielberg's movies, due to the fact that wide lenses reveal more of the landscape surrounding the main action, unlike long lenses that don't really give you as much perspective of surroundings. And when I heard wide lens, I immediately went to the shot that was in E.T. that showed him riding the bike with the moon in the background. Just a absolutely flawless shot of a wide angle with the moon in the shadow. It was just a perfect shot for the wide lens. And these are my sources. Thank you for watching. Bye.